Hi guys, and welcome to my February end of the month update. Today is February 29th, leap day, and I am pretty much done with my stitching for the month. I don't think I'm going to do anything more today/tonight. After this video, I'm going to get ready to go to a birthday party, so I thought this was a good moment to film it before I head straight into March stitching tomorrow morning. So yeah, pretty easy. I'm first gonna show you a couple finishes and then go through my whips. The first thing I want to show you is a finish from last year that I finally FFO'd, and this is Be Yourself from Fiddlesticks, and I just bought a frame at IKEA and I framed it myself. So pretty happy. It took me about 5 minutes to do this. I hope that the light is not too much. Yeah, so Be Yourself by Fiddlesticks. And this was already finished from last year. So finally got it out of my box of shame. And since I did not show you my January finishes yet, I also decided to grab those and show them to you. The first one that I finished is this one, which is maybe hard to see, but this is, if you're part of School of Magical Stitches and Literature, you might have seen this pattern. This was designed by Sammy Joe, and it's few battles are won by strength alone. And this stitched up pretty fast. I used a variegated thread from Jobbery Designs, and I decided not to stitch the moon or the boat and just the quote. Yeah, I could have maybe put it a little bit more to the left or to the right because I wasted a little bit of fabric, but hey, what you gonna do? I really like the variegation of this thread. It's a bright orange, a white, and then a little bit of a peachy color. In real life, it's like a little bit easier to read, but I think I might also frame this in a simple frame, like from IKEA or something like this. And the other finish I had in January was Bump in the Night by the Prairie Schooler. And I still realized that I have to do 2 more stitches, but can do it after this video. Yeah, this is it. And I have to do, I don't know if you can tell, but I have to do 2 more stitches right there. Yeah, this one was actually really fun. Once I started really committing to it and actually doing it, it was really fun. I really like that I can just do this easily. One color, or it's 2 colors, but the majority is 1 color. It's a brown color, DMC color. I'm not exactly sure which one. 37 something, I'm pretty sure. Don't know, don't quote me. But it's a regular color that Prairie Schooler uses often in their patterns. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This ran really well. Once I started focusing on it at the end of January, it went super fast. I think when I started the month, when I started the year even, I had finished this block, the witch, and part of the house. And all of the rest I stitched in January, so really good. I have a little bit of fabric left over. I'm gonna cut it, but I want to do, every book of the Prairie Schooler usually has some extra little smalls in it, which I want to stitch on the same fabric. So this is why I haven't cut it yet, but the other 2 small ones are gonna come on this too. Okay, so then we come to 2 finishes from February. So 2 in January, 2 in February, so 4 for the year so far. The first one was a new start I had in January, and I finished it already in February. And this is Hope Snow Globe Ornament by Dimensions, and I loved stitching this. I really just love stitching on plastic canvas. It was so much fun to do. I loved all the colors. I love how the back stitching brings it to life. I considered stitching 2020 in here, but decided not to do it. I might change there's actually, I guess, 4 of these, and all of them say a different word. I think there's joy, and I think there's love, and there's a 4th one. And I think I might put a date on one of them, but I'm not sure. But at least I really loved stitching this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm just gonna back this with felt, like I do with all my ornaments, cut it, back it with felt. Might not make a hanger on this, but might actually make a stand, because this is pretty big to hang in a Christmas tree. But so this was my first finish in February. And my second finish, another Christmas ornament. And this is another quick stitch once you focus on it. And this is Florence Santa from the Renaissance Santas. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I love stitching Mill Hill Santas. They're my favorite. I think this was number 7 or number 8, or maybe even number 9. Like, these are by far my favorite Mill Hill kits to stitch. And it is my personal goal to stitch every single one of them. But yeah, they keep coming out with 3 new ones every year, and I never seem to finish more than 3 a year, so I just keep running behind. But anyway, yeah, Florence Santa. The other one from this series that I finished is Genoa Santa. No, not Genoa. Don't know. But I know there's Venice, there's Florence, which this is one is, and there is Genoa. I think Genoa, don't quote me on this, but this is the second one I finished from this series. So yeah, I have the 3rd one, I guess, so might show up soon. So far this year, 4 finishes, and then I sorted the rest of my projects that I'm going to show you now, which are still 18 other things that I'm going to show you, because I worked on 20 projects this month, so 18 whips and the 2 finishes you just saw, and I ordered them in the least amount of work to the most amount of work, so you will see the least amount of progress on the first ones and the most amount of progress on the later ones. Yeah, so I'm not going to say precise stitch counts, but just to give you an idea how much I added, I'm just going to show you. I gotta say, on some of these I have very little progress. So the first one I'm going to start is only 102 stitches, but it's 102 stitches closer to where it was in January, and someday all these things add up and then it's finished. So the first one I'm going to show you is Indian Clothes by Dome. And like I said, I'm going to start with the least amount worked on. So minimal work, 102 stitches. But I finished a gray section, this gray section next to the door and above the gray door this month. This is what I did, because I had to stitch with gray, which I did. If you hear me saying things like I had to stitch with gray, I am part of multiple groups on Facebook where I'm participating in challenges. I was actually focusing on 5 groups, but I got a little bit overwhelming towards the end of the month, and I really lost my stitchy bug for like a little bit, not completely, because I did stitch every single day in February. But I decided now to focus on one group. I'm gonna focus on School of Magical Stitches and Literature, I think. I don't know exactly how it's called. I'm in the Wilderness Lodge, so if any one of you watching is also participating in the Wilderness Lodge, then hi. Yeah, I'm focusing on those, and any time that I have for other challenges, I will do other challenges. So basically, I would also like to do the 24 hours of cross stitch, acrostic, and the holidays. I really like those, and I like the enchanted stitching challenges, but the first place is going to be for School of Magical Stitches. And I did focus on this in the last week, and it worked out really well. I got my stitchy bug bag, so that was good. So that's my plan going forward. Focus on those first, and if I have more time, participate in other things. Anyway, number two is Sleeping Beauty by Joan Elliott. I made a lot of progress in January, literally no progress or very small progress in February. To remind you, this is what it looks like, or what's gonna look like. And it's from the book Magical Cross Stitch. This is an ex-library copy, which I got of ABA Books. ABA Books. And the only thing I worked on really this month is, let me get it folded. I worked on her neck and the start of her face. Sorry, we'll get these threads out of the way. Because this was one of those prompts, work on a face. And I started working on her face. I would really like to focus, if it comes up and it fits with one of the prompts in March, I would really like to get this quarter finished, because I feel I'm really close on finishing this quarter, and it will feel like a little bit of a finish in itself. I have to do the corner ornament and the leaves down, and obviously all the detail on her face and her arm, but the majority, the most boring part, which was the curtain, is already done. So even though I let myself get guided by all of the prompts that are coming up and the challenges, I do try to pick a couple pieces that I really want to focus on. So if I know something fits, I will gravitate to those things more. The next one is actually a new start for February. I cannot show you the pattern because it's the cover, because it doesn't have a cover. But it's, for those of you that live in the UK or in Europe, you might be familiar with the Jottery designs. And she did an advent box in December last year. And one of the little packages contained a pattern called Mini Snowflake. Mini Snowflake. And it came with beads and thread. The beads are some Mill Hill Crystal Blue Petites, although they're pretty big. And it also came with fabric. And for some reason there's some thread sticking out. But I just started it also again for a prompt. I'm trying to look for something that can go behind, but I'm not sure if you can tell, but I did about a quarter of the snowflake. And obviously I'm gonna leave beading until the end. But quarter done, this should be really easy. So who knows if white or snowflake is gonna be prompt in March. I might finish this. But yeah, this was a new start for February. And for example, here I did 148 stitches. So it's like a 3-4 hour more project, and then this is done. One I haven't worked on this year until February was King of Beasts. And this came out for, don't even remember one anymore. I did a little over 200 stitches on this. And it's gonna be hard to tell because it might look very similar like last time because all the colors are really similar. But I'm still working on the face, and I mostly, oops, this is hard. I mostly filled in a lot of stitches around here. So I started working up, filling in. Here's the eye. I'm gonna leave the eye until I'm at the nose, so because the colors of the eye are very similar to the nose, and then I can just do this all at once. But yeah, there's still quite a lot to be done. This is really only just the beginning. But just chipping away, chipping away. Like I also said with Sleeping Beauty, I'm 200 stitches closer to finishing. I'm just gonna pack everything away instantly because it's gonna be a mess otherwise. The next one, yeah, this is also gonna be an undertaking. This is Village and Fairy Tale by Soda Stitch. And last time I had just started on the second house. Even though this is a kit, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have enough floss, but luckily these are DMC flosses and I can just add some for my own stash. But it's always annoying if you buy a kit and there's not enough floss in. I'm not gonna bother like emailing them because you know it is DMC, but try better. So last time I've already showed you that I already finished this. And to give you an idea how much Soda Stitch patterns are dependent on backstitch, yes, this is what I did. I did the blue curtains and I did a large part of the yellow. I did all the yellows. So I did the blue curtains and the yellow. And I think I did some purple and the light blue I also did, dark blue. But these are just gonna be blobs of color until I start doing the backstitch, which is not gonna be for a little bit. But yeah, there are 8 houses. I'm currently on house number 2, and I think this is one of my oldest whips that I have. Yes, the reason I don't really work on this is because this is super stiff fabric, and I also just realized that there are 2 stains on here, probably from a needle. But yeah, I know I will like that end result, but yeah. It'd also be good if I finish the second house in March. Did you already hear 3 bowls in March? Then I came to my epic Pokemon, which is on the most disgusting fabric ever. And this you already saw last time that I finished the first 2 rows, but I'm still working on pages 9 and now also 10. And I filled in a little bit more here on the bottom, and I started doing all the black on page 10. And once I finish all the black on page 10, I'm gonna go back into page 9 and finish it, and then continue obviously on page 10. But yeah, you really start to see like your Gengar and Seal is starting to come. So I think the black will really be a good outline for how to place some of the colors, less counting. Because I would like to switch less often with colors, and I feel like when the black is there, I can just go across the 2 pages and yeah, fill in everything instead of always having to go in for a couple stitches and then change threads again. Also, I would love to finish a row this year on that one, but we'll see, 1 stitch at a time. One that I will definitely want to finish in March because it is really close is Bullfinch, and this is by Ala Shagova. She is an Eastern European designer. I'm not sure where from, but I finished the whole berry branch down here. I started going to the top one, and there's also still going to be a part of a branch and a berry conglomeration. I don't know if you say this like this, right here. And then obviously you have to do the back stitching, but really there is not so much work in here. The majority was the bird, and then also, yeah, sure, the berries are not so much fun to do, but they're okay. The snow is not going to show up at all. This is a very, very light blue and a white, but since I'm doing it on a silver sparkle Ada, that's not going to show, but just doing it for the sake of following the pattern. And on this one, I added about 450 stitches. One you might not have seen last time, because I don't know if I already started it that way. I did start it in January, but this one is A Dictionary of Gardens by Bothy Threads, and I love these designs. I have one finished, A Dictionary of Bears, and this is the second one I own. I'm not sure. Some of them are discontinued, which is very annoying because there's so many that I still want. I definitely want to do a dictionary of cats. I want to do a dictionary of tea, a dictionary of cakes. And there's a couple more, but they're really awesome. Either way, I picked this up from a fair and it was discounted to €30, which for Bothy threads is actually really good because these kits are expensive. You stitch on them for a long time, and you get everything. The pattern is high quality. The only thing, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Ada, but it's softer than most, so. Like I said, I don't know if you saw this last time, but either way, I am almost, like literally almost, I just have this little bit to do, finished on the center block. After I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna do the one up, and then instantly start on the banner, which these are a pain in the butt, like this whole banner, because you have to stitch this all the way from left to right. So yeah, Q Gardens, then I'm gonna go to Garden Center. These are also really fun, and they are like mini finishes, because every block feels like you really finished something. Although, with all the back stitching, it's hard to count. If you're counting for specific challenges, the back stitching gets kind of annoying. And here I added also almost 500 stitches. Okay, we're now at pretty much half, so that's good. Another one, which I actually really liked working on, to be honest, is a design by Leslie Tier, and this I call Flower Heart. I don't know what it's actually called, but I found the pattern. It's a digital magazine, so I cannot show it here, but I worked on both of the butterflies on both sides, like here and there, and then one of the birds was already there. I guess the left bird was already there, and I continued on this bird. So yeah, actually really was kind of fun to work on again. Also added some flowers, but yeah, pretty much both of the butterflies is what I worked on. And there's way more enough fabric to do something else, so. And here also almost added 500 stitches. Another new start for February, one that I've been wanting to start for a very long time. Actually, already wanted to start in January, but now I did. This is Be the Light by Dimensions, and it's just a normal, not a gold. And I love this. I saw this stitched up and I love this. The only pain obviously is that it's done on navy Ada, but hey, you gotta do something for an awesome result, right? Also 500 stitches added. I'm a pretty good way with the first jar. Obviously the center that is still blank is where the candle is gonna be. Already started a little bit on the second jar, but yeah, this is actually a lot of fun to stitch on. Really enjoy this. This also should not take too long, but this is what we always say. Another one I didn't think I was gonna stitch on, but did. Yeah, this is one of those projects where I did something wrong. I did something wrong. Mill Hill kits are notoriously a pain in the butt because you often mix up colors, because when they give you things like very, very light blue, very light blue, and light blue, yeah, very, very light blue, very light blue, medium blue, dark blue, very dark blue. My brain short wired the first time. And I think I mixed a couple colors, but right now they're sort of sorted, and I'm gonna stick with whatever symbol is standing next to it, even though I might have mixed up colors before. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. It's gonna be probably hard to see, but I'm gonna try it anyway. This is how far I am right now. This is actually like a lot more stitching than a normal Mill Hill kit. Especially the sky. The sky is gonna be unbelievably many stitches. But I did already a good chunk. I mean, did already this whole chunk here, so I'm on the way. And actually, now that I stopped caring if I did the right color, I actually really like this. Also did a lot of the tower. I filled in some of the stitching on the side, started going up. So yeah, actually having fun with this one. I have no ambitions to finish this soon. It'll be cool for next winter. But that's still a long way off. Yes. When is it? Yeah. This obviously does not want to go back in. Yes. Also, almost 600 stitches in that one. The next one, now I'm starting to get into the projects where I really made a lot of progress. The next one is Cat Lovers by Jardin Privé. Also, again, I have this pattern digitally. You can buy pretty much all of her designs, I guess, from the Jardin Privé website itself. You get them as a PDF, or you can order them hard copy, whatever you want. It says now, like, on the side, like, copy of with my name, so it's very easy. You cannot distribute it, so it's very easy. PDFs you get in like 5 minutes. And this pattern is super easy. It just has 6 colors, but still, what she's able to do with 6 colors, I really like it. So what did I do on this? I did actually quite a lot. I finished this whole section, and I finished the black cat right here. And I started on the next little thing that is here. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with what I did. Like I said, this whole piece is just 6 colors. And I pretty much a little bit over half here. So I really love this. Just again, Quaker patterns or Quaker related patterns are so easy because it's just these little blocks. You can focus on the block and then you have a mini finish, and it also feels good to put it away because you did finish something. Fold it other way around because I'm not messing with this needle here. Okay, still messing with this needle. Don't know what I'm doing right now. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry. If I don't do it now, I really am gonna leave this here, but I should. Okay, another surprise for me that this came out. This is one of my 3 Hades that I have on the go. Yes, Hades. I love them. I love how they look, and I'm super jealous of all the people that seem to manage like page after page after page finish. I finally managed to download BlueStacks. BlueStacks is an emulator that lets me run Pattern Keeper on my MacBook, which really saved me buying a Kindle or an Android iPad, I wanted to say, an Android tablet. And it works great. The only thing is I haven't really set up in such a way that it's easy for me to keep going back to it. I think I'm actually I have a frame. I have a large frame, but I cannot seem to get the tension on this thing right. It's just not what I had expected it to be. Also, I live in a 3-bedroom apartment where one room we rent out and the other 2 is where my boyfriend and I live. I don't have the floor space to have this standing around, so for now it's on in the storage area. It's not easy for me to get it down every time I want to use it, and also I don't want to have it with my fabric on the storage, so this is not an option. So I think I might actually buy a bigger Q-snap and just leave it in the Q-snap so that every time I feel the urge to work on it, I don't have to dig it out, put it in, blah, blah, blah. So either way, long story short, I actually did almost 1,000 stitches on this, which is pretty good. Still not anywhere near to a page finish, but closer. I actually did a lot of black because I took it on a holiday and I just took black because I knew the majority of the page is black, so I could just mindlessly do black. So, that's the way I guess. Yeah, I had it wrong. So, this is where I am. It really made a lot of progress on the medallion. I filled in so many stitches in there. I still seem to be missing some colors, but I also made a lot of progress filling in here, the top, and then I started stitching on the black. So all in all, I'm not unhappy. If I manage to do 1,000 stitches every month, well, I'm gonna finish this in 2045, but hey, I did something. But like I said, I have to find like a good way so that it's always easy, that I can, I don't know, make myself do 100 black stitches without having to find the courage to put this up. But Pattern Keeper is awesome. Reminds me probably when I open it now, I need to buy the full version because I just had the trial. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. Just now need to get the courage. And I still have, I don't know, 20, 30 that I want to do, like already own. And I don't know how many that are on my wish list. And I wish I had the years to do, but for now, anytime it requires me to work on something full coverage, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm not gonna mess with other 2 yet. Especially, the one is a quick stitch. Like this should be doable, but I might restart it on a smaller count fabric. But the third one is A Stitch in Time by Amy Stewart. Boy, this is gonna be finished in 2125. By my great-grandchildren, probably. Okay, I guess like 5 to go? Yeah, 5 to go. And it's about time, because already 33 minutes in. The project from hell, but still, it's a little less hellish, like slowly. Yes, all of you people that told me to bin it, I can't. Really new. I agree that I should be able to, but I can't. Bin it in the sense like bin the fabric, because I hate working on the fabric, and start over. But it's actually, I hate it so much that it's almost therapeutic, because it's like a battle with the pattern and with the fabric, and it feels good that I make like progress. I don't know, it's ridiculous, but anyway, still just focusing on the border. Haven't done anything besides border, but I did a lot of border, and I'm actually really happy with this progress. Because also almost 1,000 stitches added on this one. Woohoo! This is how far I got. There's gonna be 12 boxes in total. I have 2 completely finished. No, haven't. Well, I have, but I'm in a good way. I really like how this is going. This is like a little bit tight on the sides though, people. They should cut this a little bit bigger, but yeah, should be fine. I mean, it is fine, but for framing purposes, would have been better if there's a little bit. You can always sew like a little bit extra on for framing purposes. But yeah, just every time I do this, I do border, 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 border until every single border is finished. And the thing is, sometimes I forget that, like here, this one is sticking out a little bit into the border, like this pink. Here I noticed this early enough, so I left out the appropriate white space. Some other parts I didn't do, but I'm just gonna fudge it when I get to this. But I am winning. I'm winning so hard. And maybe I'm gonna finish the border this year so that I could concentrate on actual coffee cups. Okay. Then one I didn't think I was gonna work so much on, because also Fabric from Hell. But I did actually, is Snow White by Soda Stitch. And I did already do Anne of Green Gables, which I probably also said last time, but I really like the setup of these. I really like the look. So, yeah, actually also did 1,000 stitches on this, which I'm pretty happy about. And here she is. So pretty much at the beginning of the month, I did the castle, the mirror, and I started on the queen, but I finished pretty much the queen except for her creepy eyes. The bird, started on the medallion here with the apple. I started on the witch here with her red hair. I started here on the gnome, the dwarfs. Snow White has dwarfs. And the ground. So yeah, pretty happy. The left side is pretty much, except for like a couple details, I think it will take me about an hour and a half to finish the left without backstitching, obviously. I will do probably the backstitching once I finish off like bigger parts. So once I finish this part off, I might just start with like backstitching, because also the backstitching in this one, 6 different colors of backstitch. Yes. But yeah, this one's actually pretty fun. I just grab a color and go as far as I can go and grab the next color. Then we come to another new start. And this one is actually not going to be a new start much longer, because it's going to be a finish. And I'm talking about the Prairie Schooler February, and I am working on the small one. This is what I meant. Like the Prairie Schooler often do like a small one and a big one, or a big one and 2 small ones. Like these you could also do individually. I won't, because they're already in here. Abe and George. I had a long time figuring out who this was. I mean, Abraham Lincoln is obviously from 1,000 miles away, but I only knew that this was George Washington because it actually says here. I don't know if you can read, but in gray it says George Washington. I'm also stitching the big one, but for now I'm just doing the small one. And I just stitched 2 colors, but it's looking good. I finished both George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. I finished the top part of this. I only need to do like a little house under. I did the birds, I did VE. I have to fill in some more, but these 2 are actually done, these little parts. So out of 6, I finished 2 and I have to do the entire border, but the border is just mindless once you put on like a good television series. You just do a couple episodes of border. But yeah, this is gonna be aimed for to be a finish in March or shortly thereafter. I mean, what better thing to work on in February than February? I did like 1,400 stitches on this. That's a lot. Then 2 to go. Another one I liked working on. I mostly worked on this in the beginning of the month and then I put it away. This is Mirabilia, Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy. Talking about fairies, I got my Miss Valentine framed. She is at my mom's right now and she looks gorgeous. She looks absolutely amazing and I cannot wait for next month to show her to you. But her sister did get some nice wings and the start of her arm. So this is where I am so far. The left side, right side. Okay, right side. I'm pretty much finished with her wing. This is just her hand. And these open strings are where the beads are gonna be. Yeah, already started like a little bit on her skin. I'm doing her skin over one because why the heck not? I did it with the other one and now I feel like I have to do all 6. I have to do all 6 anyway, but I'd have to do all 6 1 over 1. And I love how you get this as a kit and how many thread you have left over. Like on the last one I had so much left over, so this would really help with future projects. I don't necessarily think I'm a super frugal stitcher, but I don't use so much thread. So that's nice. I would like to do some on her next month, but the one by far I worked the most on, I mean on the fairy I did like about 2,000 stitches, almost 1,819, in case you were wondering, but the one I worked the most on, and I love it. I would never have thought that I would fall in love with the monochrome chart. I wouldn't, because I thought it was going to be so boring. But I love it. I absolutely love working on my Christmas Quaker. I love it. This is, I mess it up. It's Quaker Christmas, but Christmas Quaker, Quaker Christmas. This is it, by Bygone Stitches. This does not do it justice. Like, if I would see any of Bygone's patterns, like also I have the feeling this is the same as with Rosewood Manor. Even like a lot, Mirabilia's Lavender and Lace, the picture, the cover photo does not do them justice at all. The same as here, like this looks boring. I mean, I don't know what it looks like if you actually stitch this up with the recommended colors, but the cover picture looks boring, to me at least. I'm absolutely in love with my thread choice still, which is Threadworks 1085. Love this. Absolutely love working with this. I might actually do all of my monochrome from now on with Threadworks because it is awesome. And it looks like I'm gonna have enough. I think I bought 6 and I'm already over halfway and I still have 3 left, so it should be enough. Because I worked like crazy on this and I added over 4,000 stitches on this. I finished page 3, started and finished page 4, and am 40% through page 5 out of 8. So this thing, I'm loving it. I'm gonna actually get up because it's a monster. And oh my god, do I love it. I could have actually done this on 32 count. This would not have been unwise, but I didn't. I did it on 28 and it's gonna be massive. But yeah, I love it nonetheless. It's so much fun to work on. The fabric is amazing. It's Landswool Jobelin, like I said, in 28 count. Yes, I love it. So, last time when you saw it, I was about here. Like I had a little bit to do of this medallion. I did like this whole page, like this, completely finished. Was page 4. Just when I continue under here, I can go. And then I started on, folding this is a pain. I started on page 5. And, ooh, I love it. I cannot get over how much I love this. The only thing I have to go back in the top is I changed the text in the top. It says, actually, O come all ye faithful, and I changed it into Last Christmas, but I gave you my heart does not fit here. So I think I'm gonna stitch either a little motif, maybe, I don't know, like something small, like a heart, like part of a heart, or I'm actually gonna stitch the year. I also already added my name, my first name and my second name. I am still debating if I put my last name. But yeah, since I might still get married and change my last name, I don't know. I might leave it for now like this. It's not bothering me that there's like extra line there. Yeah, she's glorious. I really love working on this. So I hope to continue the trend. There's a couple of things I could easily pick it up for next month in terms of prompts and etc. So I would be very happy if I could finish page 5 and 6. I mean, I finished 1.5 pages, almost close to 2 in February, so I should be able to do the same in March. And then I cannot believe it, I could actually finish it in 2 months. Yeah, and then I could actually get it framed before Christmas, or like a long time before Christmas. But it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be really expensive because normally my framer is actually really great. I usually buy frames secondhand or at IKEA. I go with my frame and my piece to my framer, and she frames it up for 20 to 30 euro. The last one, the Miss Valentine, I even only paid 15 euros for. So cheap, very cheap, because I can provide my own frames. But I want to have custom framing for this. I do have another piece with custom framing. I gotta say, this was similar in size. I might pull it down next time. It's Wacky Witches and Stitches by the Clouds Factory, and I had this custom framed because I didn't want to look for something really specific this size. I mean, finding a frame for this is easy. I mean, it's just a normal little frame, all good. The bigger pieces. So I got this custom framed for about 75 euros. So definitely not the insane prices I sometimes hear you guys mention. I do have to say I frame everything without glass. So this obviously saves a lot of money, but it's nowhere near the $200-300 that I sometimes hear from you guys in America. So I think I'm lucky with my framer, and my framer is around the corner from where my mom lives. So awesome. Either way, yeah, this was it for February. I worked on 20 projects. I had 2 finishes, and I showed you my 18 webs. I did a total of 16,126 stitches. Because yeah, I'm crazy and I count. This is slightly less than what I did in January, about a good 3,000, 4,000 stitches less. But I'm still overall really happy with how I did, because I stitched every single day in February as I did in January, so my streak is still going. Stitch every day this year. Even the one day I only did 4 stitches because I just didn't want to break my streak. I mean, I live in Cologne, and February in Germany, or mostly here in Nordrhein-Westfalen, Cologne is Carnival. And Carnival is getting breakfast at 9:30 with your friends while having Mettbrötchen and beer. So we meet at 9:30. We dress up in crazy costumes and we have beer, and then we go out and party. And this happens in the morning, so you're done at 8 o'clock in the evening. Anyway, on this one day, I just really wanted to get my stitches in, so I did it very early in the morning before we left, 4 stitches, and then I was safe for the day and didn't have to do it very wasted when I came back. Either way, March, hope to do the same amount of stitching, maybe get to 20,000, and then I call the month successful. So yeah, that was it. I hope to be working on the same amount. I hope not to start all the things. I still haven't bought a single thing. I'm very proud of myself. I did look through my projects. I have about 140-ish things in my stash that I still want to start. I look I also have an ornament issue. I could stitch every ornament out of this. Just cross stitch ornament issue. I could stitch every single thing from this, but I'm not going to. So I really picked the ones I really want to do. I came to about 146. I already started a couple, so like 140 projects. I did look through my stuff and started kitting some things up with the fabrics that I already own. But I feel right now I don't really want to break my buying ban, or self-proclaimed buying ban. So I might actually just start things and see when I run out, order things. The one thing I do really want to start this year is my Venice mandala from Chatelaine. I checked out part 1, and I think I'm just gonna get like a couple of the silks, because to kit it up is $250, people. I'm not gonna pay this all at once. No, especially with 139 other things I want to stitch. So I'm gonna get the fabric, get the very first silk, and then just start stitching with this and the DMC. And then once I finish this, I'll order another silk, because the silks are expensive. They're $6.50, or like $7.50, which is insane. Either way, I'm ranting right now. I'm finished for now. I hope you had a wonderful leap day. I hope you enjoyed your extra day this year, and I will see you at the end of March. Yeah, have a nice evening, guys. Bye.